Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back. I'm Dan, joined by Liz. This is episode 2 of Careers in Coffee. Welcome, Liz. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Got your coffee going?
Okay. Yep. Just pressed it here. I got my French press.
Fancy this week.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I've got my Backbone trail run. Hopefully they do another one of these trail runs at Backbone this spring.
Oh, did you do that?
Hmm?
Did you do
really
the trail
fun.
run?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and dive in here. We are coming off of Career Week last week, which was the last kind of full week in March there, the 22nd through the 25th. How'd it go, Liz?
I think it went really well. Especially the job seekers we talked to really appreciated the number of resources that we had, the opportunity to talk with employers, and it just, I don't know, just overall it was a really good resource.
Yeah, that's great. And so what's going on moving forward if job seekers are still looking for resources or want to tune into some of those podcasts and shows that we had last week? How can they do that?
Sorry, my kid is coming in here. No, can you leave? Thanks. No, I don't want any mango. And take the dog.
Age of Zoom and working from home. This is how it goes.
We can cut that out. Okay, what was the question?
I was just wondering if job seekers are still interested in learning about Career Week or seeing some of the resources that we published last week. How can they do that?
Yes, so they can go to corridorcareers.com/careerweek. And we have all the resources tagged, so you can just pick the day that you were interested in looking at the resources for on the schedule. You click that link, it'll take you to the full page that have all the resources for that day, including any videos or panels that we had. So
awesome.
Pretty easy to get to. corridorcareers.com/careerweek.
Great. And I know from Career Week, we actually ended up with quite a few questions from job seekers in the area, just about anything and everything, right? And we wanted to focus on one of those this week. Do you have that in front of you?
Yeah, so we had a job seeker ask about a really specific job title. And this is just gives us a good opportunity to talk about, okay, I'm really interested in a very specific type of job title. So this one is interested in a future regarding video game programming. What jobs can help me build towards that in any way? And that is a hard question to answer for some jobs that are kind of like very specialized like that. So I thought this would be a good way for us to check out O-Net. We have been learning and growing our knowledge of O-Net, which is a public resources paid for by you, a taxpayer. So we own it. It's the occupational resource database that the government puts out and has been for a long time. So it's really rich in the data that it has as it draws occupational data from across the country. And what O-Net is really good for is using its tools to kind of understand, okay, what skills and tasks and technology skills are required for certain roles by typing in a job title. And so if you want to try this for yourself, you go to onetonline.org. That's onetonline.org. And there's a search bar there, and you can just type in, like I typed in video game designer. And so some of the technology skills that a video game designer is going to need is MySQL server query software. So that's like a database skill. It also recommends some of the specialized programming that they're going to need, like Objective-C or Oracle Java or just regular HTML, PHP, and Ruby on Rails. And so some of those things this person may have some awareness of, like HTML, that's a more simplified programming skill. And then the more specialized knowledge of things like, some of the game design. If you click the plus sign on any of the skills, it'll like unfurl the total skills, because they have everything in here. There's so many. It's like information overload, but in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
So So when we're thinking about this, okay, I want to get into video game design in the future. And this is kind of a cool idea of like, okay, this is what I want. So when we talked last week, Dan, we were like, what do you want?
Mhm.
That's like the big key there. So this person knows what they want. And now they're thinking, okay, there's all kinds of obstacles because I don't see any video game designer job ads anywhere. And so what he could do or she could do in this market is, okay, I want to work on the skill set that I'm going to need in order to become a video game designer. And to do that, you could start looking for jobs that have some of the technology skills that you're going to be working towards. So if you don't have a lot of database expertise, maybe you could get a start by working at a IT help desk. At any other, there's so many positions in our market for help desk providers. So that would be someone who is like a technician, maybe they're recently graduated, they've got some basic technology skills as well as some specialized kind of software setup skills. They're going to learn about video drivers and all those kind of gnarly things that you and I, Dan, don't mess with. And those skills are going to be really good as they work towards that ultimate career path. So it is, I have this post-it note on my door. It says, you're taking small steps in the right direction, because you got to take those positive steps in the right direction wherever your goal is, but do them daily and do them by building your skill set. So that would be my recommendation. And then eventually the person is going to have to find, okay, is there a location where most of these jobs are located? And my guess is that has changed since COVID. So maybe able to find, like, maybe there are a lot of video game designers located on the West Coast, but now those same companies have work from home opportunities. So they could potentially stay here in this market and work towards that career path in a really positive way.
Yeah, absolutely. You bring up a good point there with the work from home or work remotely. More and more companies are trending in that direction. Let's go back to ONET Online real quick, because I know we were kind of discussing just one topic, but this is a super broad and really awesome tool. I mean, you can search for any job on here. It gives you things such as projected job openings upcoming. It gives you a median salary, not only in the United States, but also in Iowa and also in our market, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City. Pretty powerful tool. Anything else you'd like to add on top of that?
Well, and I would say it's powered by occupational data that comes straight from the source. So while like a Glassdoor is going to give you a nice salary range, they're also going to try to they may even be pulling from ONET. I don't know, but I like to go to the source for information, and ONET is definitely a source. It isn't sexy. It's not one of those websites that you're like, oh, this is great. It looks like your library website, from when you're in high school or something like that. But looks can be very deceiving because the content in here is true and real and accurate and is really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. Great resource. Touching back to kind of the question from our job seeker and them knowing, where they want to be in the future. Maybe this person, it sounds like maybe they're either going through a career change or just starting their career. What you kind of said, like, okay, taking baby steps in the right direction. Mm-hmm. What would you say to somebody who is maybe getting frustrated in their certain, where they're at right now versus where they want to be? Like, maybe I know in the past, like, I've been impatient wanting to get something quicker, but what would you say to maybe a frustrated job seeker?
Yeah, you were sharing a story with me last week about that. And I just think that the reality is you're not alone in your frustration. Every job seeker, whether you're working or not working, may have a certain level of frustration as to where they are in their career currently and where they want to be. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because what happens when we're comfortable? We never change, right? So
Sure.
If you're
Yeah.
uncomfortable, use that uncomfortability to motivate you to try something new. And maybe it's networking. One of the panelists on the Ask the Expert talked about, if you don't have experience, it's 110% more important that you network to find a connection and a resource at a company that you want to work for, so that they can advocate for you as a potential hire, whether it be highlighting the crossover skills that you have, that and what you would bring to the table, or your trainability. You know, if that is one of your assets, like I'm a quick learner, or I'm really interested in learning.
Mhm.
Now you can hear my dog. So those are the things that I would suggest people focus on.
That's great advice. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for episode 2 of Careers in Coffee, or Coffee and Careers. I'm not even sure if I quite have that right yet, but you know, we're drinking coffee and we're talking
Drinking
about career.
coffee, talking about jobs.
we're going to keep doing it. We're trying to have fun, and you know, if you guys have questions or you want us to talk about a certain topic, you can send us an email, contact@corridorcareers.com. We'll be happy to take your questions, and hopefully just keep this thing going and have an open chat about careers and what it's like here in the corridor.
Yeah, or give us a like or thumbs up. We're going to be producing this on multiple channels, so we really appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks, Liz.
Thanks.